good?
Yeah, we're good now. Yep.
All right, we've got Sam Williamson here. Open the floor for questions.
Obviously, really good team. What are your first kind of just thoughts after kind of hanging with them in the beginning and then sticking with them, I guess, a little bit at the end?
Well, I'm proud of what we fought at the end. I think we started off the game pretty well, and then the middle of the game we had a rough stretch, guarding their stuff. We didn't guard the ball well one-on-one. They exposed us, and we did a really good job keeping on top. The second half we got a lot more than we wanted them to, but I think that was key to getting a good start to the game.
Did you guys look back at that game from last time in preparation for this one, or was it more of a, hey, let's move on for the last time we played and not think about it?
Yeah, we definitely look back at the last one. You have to, to learn from some of the mistakes you made and look at some of the good things that you did in that game and try to carry it over. We did some of that tonight, but not all.
You guys have gone a while. I think it was 7-ish minutes without making a shot from the floor in the second half. You then made 3 straight. Is that something where at that point of the game you kind of feel that you got to take it on a little bit, that you got to be one of those guys that kind of steps up and does that for this group?
Yeah, I do, actually. I feel like there was a stretch in the game where I kind of became, I wasn't very assertive. And I love facilitating the ball and finding my teammates and stuff, but I think there was a stretch in the game where I could have been more assertive and got some shots for myself and my teammates on drives.
Was it the other way at the start, though? I think you made your first 3 shots. Were you specifically looking for your shot more early on?
Not necessarily. I just felt like there were a couple opportunities to make plays and try to make them early. But we want a lot of our guys just to play aggressive and confident, and at times I don't think we did that time.
I mean, the second half effort from you guys, you guys all year just continue to play hard no matter the circumstances. What's said at halftime or what's the mentality to kind of bring that out each time? You guys play hard, it seems like, all the time. How do you guys continue to do that despite, just wins and losses not necessarily?
We still believe, we're still a connected group. We still believe that we have a chance to make something happen in a conference tournament. And I think because of that, we fight for each other. We fight for this coaching staff. At the end of the day, we're all competitive. We want to win. So no matter what our record is, every time we go out there,
You go to the locker room down 14, and then in the second half they only outscored you by 1. What changed? Were there any major adjustments or schematic changes made at halftime?
Nothing major, just a couple of changes in Boston coverages. We credit them. They had obviously a really well coached team, one of the best teams in the country. They had playmaking guards that make plays in pick and roll. They skip passes to shooters, hit their bigs for layups, and it made it difficult for us to guard at times.
Sam, do you feel like you guys are making progress?
I do. I really do. And as I just alluded to, we keep fighting. And if you keep fighting, you're always going to put yourself in a chance to win a basketball game.
Is that progress kind of a thought moving forward every game, preparing for the conference for a win? Obviously you want to win first and foremost, but it's like, hey, if we can take a step today, that's also good.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I feel like there's not a team in this league that we can't beat. So down the stretch, the last 3 or 4 games, and we just have to keep trying to trend upward. So we're playing our best basketball come the beginning of March, heading into Fort Worth in the American Conference tournament. We're gonna have to win 3 or 4 games in a row. To play in the tournament like we want to, and I'm excited for this last push. But we're all still connected. We're all still fighting.
Saturday, you'll have back-to-back home games for the first time in a little over a month. Does that make it easier to maybe carry over some of the positives from this game into the next game when there's no travel in between, when you get to play in the same gym again and maybe get some of that same feel to it?
Maybe a little bit. It's not a huge difference. At the end of the day, we're playing a really good team, whether it's at home or on the road, a team that just beat us. We can have 2 weeks ago. So we're going to be looking to get our revenge. And there's a few things that we didn't do well that game that we're looking to do on Sunday.
Guys, anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Has the coach already gone? Huh?
No.
He's not.
Okay, to be honest with you, I thought our guys, what I felt during the game was that we sold ourselves short a little bit. I felt like, it was such a disparity the first time we played them that we got off to a good start, and we weren't overwhelmed by the presence of their team in the way that we were the first time we played them. And I thought we accepted that there was a level of relief in the group that it isn't a drubbing. Like, all right, we could compete with these guys, and they were satisfied with the fact that we could compete with them. And when we made a little bit of a run and had a chance at 11 points to get it to single digits, I don't think we were really playing to win at that point. And so I was disappointed in that, because these guys, you guys know, you've seen them, they stick together, they keep fighting. They kept fighting in the game, they showed some pride. But it was more about the pride and sticking together and fighting than it was like playing to win. And we didn't quite do that. They shot 37% in the second half. We guarded them. We didn't guard them well the first time we played them. Today we got 4 consecutive stops within the first 4 minutes of the game, and the ball was moving for us. We only had the first game. They had 21 offensive rebounds, and that led to 30+ points. And tonight we gave up 10, but they didn't dominate the way they normally do. So we did some things that we set out to do, and then we didn't try to go win it. Right, but we needed to do those things to be in the fight, and once we were in it, we kind of accepted that, and so that's a little disappointing.
Is that maybe a byproduct of just not seeing the wins come? Is that maybe they've not mentally, because they, like you said, they do fight, but maybe not seeing those wins come, there's not that win attack the win mentality?
I don't think that like they deserved the win to Wichita State game. They knew that. We had to make some free throws or whatever to finish the game, but the fight was there, and we kind of let one slip away. Your pride always says, "Oh, we should have won a game," but that was a game that we definitely were in a position to win the game that we let go. So we were playing to win. We were playing to win at East Carolina. I think it has a lot more to do with our initial experience with them and the respect that we have for them. Like, that was we're coming off 3 out of 4 wins. We come home, we have this great win over Tulsa, and we get smashed on national TV. And I think during the game we realized, like, we really can't play with these guys, and had we played like this the last game, we probably would have, wouldn't have came in with that mentality here.
Was that not playing to win, but hey, we can play with these guys kind of mentality you've alluded to? Was that something you foresaw that there was the potential for that with the team, or did that kind of just develop tonight?
Yeah, I think it was something that happened in the game. I think because there's no question that the guys came out with the right mentality, and they were competitive. We had a little pop, a little juice to start the game. We didn't get as much spark from our bench as we would need, just energy-wise. Emery, Keon, those guys who come in and kind of spark us a little bit, didn't as much tonight. Came in, fouled, gave up offensive rebounds, got beat off the dribble. And so we were relying on the starters almost primarily throughout the game, and I think those guys got worn down a little bit.
You drew the comparison to the first time you met Houston, and obviously down there, Houston got out to such a fast start. Tonight it was tied at 8 and 10 or whatever it was. Was there a change in the pregame preparation or your speech in the locker room before the game that may have impacted the start?
As compared to the last game? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they feel that way. I don't know. Did Sam say something along those lines? I don't know. I just think we've gotten, I thought we got connected in Hawaii. I thought we got humbled at Houston, and we had to reconnect and to get off the canvas, and I think we've done that. And then tonight was a game where we came out with the right mentality, and they're a good team, and they responded as a good team would. #2 team in the country, maybe they're the best. And so they're gonna make some shots if you give them an offensive rebound. If you miss an assignment, they're gonna make you pay. If you don't really guard, they're gonna get to the basket. And they did what good teams do, and then our response wasn't at the level necessarily to beat a team of that caliber.
Sam said he and the team feel like they can still get some goals accomplished, still make some noise in the AAC tournament. Do you sense that same confidence that they still have, and that's why they just keep playing as hard as they do, night in, night out?
Yeah, this is a different group. I can't, I gotta say, I've been around teams that win a lot more games than we're winning right now that I didn't enjoy. But sometimes winning can disguise what's happening below the surface sometimes, right? It's almost like offense. You make shots, you might be able to disguise some weaknesses of your team, right? And I think winning can do that sometimes. Sometimes you're winning, but the needle's not moving. And sometimes you're not, and the needle's moving in the right direction. And I think you can lose without being a loser. And I think that's what we have. We have a group that's trying to learn how to win together. Some guys who have been casting roles they've never had before, and we're trying to learn how to win. But I know 100% I'm gonna come in there tomorrow and I'm gonna enjoy being with these guys. And I know that on Saturday we're gonna have another really good practice in preparation for Sunday. And I wouldn't totally blame them if they let human nature take over at this point in the year, but they haven't. And it's really stretching me as a coach because I'm saying I'm enjoying this in a way that I wouldn't expect. If you told me our record was going to be this, I'm like, this is going to be miserable, but I'm not miserable. I'm not. I'm disappointed, but I'm not miserable, and I'm not discouraged because I know tomorrow they're going to come in with a great attitude, and I really that really means a lot from a foundational standpoint.
At the start of the second half, Jalen Smith came out with some sort of belt or wrap around his waist and didn't come in right away. How limited was he, and what did that do to your rotation when he did come back in the second half?
Yeah, he had something that was ailing him. Mainly his defense. I needed some treatment, and so I was a little bit frustrated with Jalen because I think Jalen can be a great defender. I think those guys can be tremendous defenders with their size, length, and athleticism. And they had a real challenge on their hands tonight against some really good players. And I just think we got just an area where we just got to take that to another level.
You guys had gone a while without making a shot from the floor. They had built that 23-point lead. And then Sam, kind of 3 straight, got some big buckets for you. How big was that for you as a team, but also to see Sam kind of take control and kind of put that upon himself to maybe take over in that kind of situation?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I coach the game and then I root for guys at the same time as we're going through this. You know what I mean? Like I'm rooting for a guy to make a shot, not just because we need a 3, but for his psyche. And so in Sam's case, I'm like really pulling for Sam because I know he's got so much more in him, and I think he's hard on himself right now. And so I love the fact that, he wasn't himself tonight because he's the one guy on the team that I feel the most comfortable leaving in for the longest stretch. Because he's got the greatest endurance, I think, on the team. He can play harder for longer stretches. And even tonight, it looked like he hit a little bit of a wall, and then in that stretch you're talking about, he had a little pop, and it was good for us. And at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm really happy to see him starting to get some traction, because at some point he's going to get that beautiful jump shot back, and we're going to see another level guy.
As the course of the season unfolds, and obviously the record is what it is right now, how has the rotation evolved? Darius McBride gets in tonight. How do you and your staff continue to kind of evaluate these guys and get different guys opportunities?
Well, Darius, man, is such a high character dude. We were looking for a spark there. Like I was saying, we didn't get a spark from our bench. Normally Keon and Emery kind of bring some immediate energy. And Frank had been practicing so good the last couple of days that I felt like I had to give him an opportunity that, he practiced like a grown man. It was going to be a grown man game, so I threw him in there, and he did some good stuff for us. As far as the rotation itself, I think, it's still kind of, from game to game, who you turn to first is a lot of a byproduct of how the game is going sometimes. In general, it's based on the way guys have practiced, and that's how it's gotten to where it is now. And tonight, I wanted to give those guys an opportunity to give us a spark, and Darius gave us some good minutes. And you go through a year like this, and guys are sitting over there, they're not playing for games and weeks at a time, and then they keep coming in with this unbelievably good attitude, man. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. And so there's some times where I just say, hey, I'm gonna throw them in there and see if they can give us something, and they did.
And you mentioned the way they practice, and as you build the culture and keep building, what you want out of these guys, is rewarding that strong practice play a real key in that, I would imagine?
I think so. And I think it's also, keeping guys engaged, and because they've been so good, their attitude has been so great. So certainly, you want to keep your word.
Anything else? First game against ECU. Your first game against ECU
I
got
was
away.
waiting for him to give me one turnover.
It's coming.
Inevitable.
Other than playing in your own building on Sunday, what needs to be different Sunday from the first go-around with ECU?
Well, we came back late in the game and took the lead, but they played harder than us. They started out the game more intense. It was my fault. That one is on me. I was so disappointed in our effort in Tulane that we got on a plane and practiced there, and I didn't care about their conditioning, whether they were tired, whether someone got hurt. I mean, we had a really, really hard practice. When did we play them, on a Sunday or a Saturday?
We played them on Saturday. ECU was Saturday.
That was Saturday. So Thursday night at 7 p.m., we had a really rough practice. And then on Friday, we had another one. And I didn't really care about the outcome of the game. I wanted to see a fight. And I got 2 days of a fight, and it hurt us in the game, but I wasn't concerned about that, to be honest with you. I was more concerned about the standard. And I thought we operated a little bit below the standard this last game, and we showed some fight in that ECU game when we got our backs against the wall. But our backs were against the wall because they played harder than us to start, and I'll take some of the blame for that.
You with us? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.